in reality today, cash is still very relevant. Given our local setting, it gets even more relevant when it comes to travel. So I think sometimes people get confused. Digital payments within the border is easy, but when it goes cross-border, that's a challenge.
Hey Victor, thanks for coming across
Thank you for having me.
and connecting with us today. I saw you guys on the floor. I'm interested in learning about what you guys are doing. But before we get into that, let's talk about your history. How did you get to this point where you're actually in Collision, pitching this awesome product that I've seen?
So we've come a long way. We were founded by 3 Hong Kongers, our co-founding teams, and we actually first met in Iceland on a road trip back in 2013. So we're all passionate travelers ourselves. Back then we already wanted to do a startup in travel space, but all of our training was in business and psychologies. So we didn't have anybody that can code. So I was in an investment bank back then, was still working as an analyst. And then fast forward to 2015, I wanted to do a computer science program because I wanted to be able to build a product myself. So I went to UCL, studied computer science and data science. Worked there for a couple of years in a UK technology company. And I picked up the data science skill set I needed. And then when I came back to Hong Kong, we brainstormed and get together again. We recognized the pain point with travel money. So I thought, why don't we just do something about it? And then we got into the Hong Kong Science Park incubation program, which is from the government, and it's great because it helped us get started from the very beginning. We've been in the incubation program for just over 1 year now. So we're part of the Hong Kong delegations. We went to the UK FinTech Week before, and we're coming to Collision as our second international trip. I think we're focused in Asia right now, but we see a potential in international cities. Could be our first city outside of Asia, either UK or in Toronto, perhaps. That's what we're doing.
What about New York?
The
US needs as well. We get a lot of tourists coming across
and
there.
I think it's a drivable distance all the way to New York. I would love to visit New York at some point.
So let me ask you. So from that history, have you always seen yourself as being a startup owner, entrepreneur within the tech space, wanting to kind of do that stuff? Because you talked about wanting to always do something in the travel space. Have you always envisioned that?
I think I'm a guy that's just enjoyed the pursuit of excellence. And doing that in the corporate space is kind of hard because you have to go through loopholes. I think it's a very attractive proposition to be able to start your own company, build the products that you want, and get to really understand, talk to customers. Basically, an end-to-end thing. You talk to customer at the same time, you go all the way to building product, go to the back end, write code. So I really enjoy the process. So that's why I picked up on the idea and dive into entrepreneurship.
Let's talk about Pecutus and what you guys are doing. So tell me more about it.
So we're building our first product. We call it Ready Travel. It's a currency swapping platform that allows travelers to swap any of your leftover or unwanted currencies with each other's. We do digital currencies, physical currencies, local currencies, of course, and also foreign currencies. So how it works is, let's say I come back, I'm going to go back to Hong Kong from Canada. I'm going to have some leftover Canadian dollars for sure.
Oh, that has happened to me so many times. Many times.
What I would do is I would walk over to one of our hardware, which is a kiosk that can process the cash and authenticate the cash.
And it looks like somewhat like an ATM machine. Like that.
I consider that as a portal to kind of process cash. And we'll be able to find you the match, somebody that might be going to Canada next week. I bet there are a lot of them in Hong Kong because we just love to travel. And I guess people these days, young people for sure, and even across age group globally, regardless of where you lived, what is your age group, we love to travel. So I will find you the match, and then you can swap the currency with that person. So that person likely will give you back the Hong Kong dollars I will want because I can't spend Canadian dollars in Hong Kong. So that's how we work. We focus on 2 technologies. One is the hardware that I mentioned, which is a kiosk that can process the cash. So you don't have to worry about whether the note is real, whether I have to meet the person face to face. You don't have to do that. And on the software side is the matching algorithms. That's where the things I enjoy most is using data. Because a lot of the time when I go back, when a returning traveler comes in, he has a small amount of cash, 100 US. You can't do really much. You can't do really anything when you travel. So it's often a multi matching whereby there might be 10 inbound travelers, and then 2 outbounds, and it works.
And you aggregate everything.
Yes. There's an optimization problem which I really enjoy working on.
So the software does a lot of the logistics of finding, placing, matching, correlating, and then the hardware actually takes and gives the cash, right?
We're basically at the service of the customers, because to them, dump the money, somehow it gets swapped, and somehow it becomes a valuable currency again.
Right. So let me ask a question, because that's a really ingenious idea, because there's so many people traveling. Traveling is not going to stop, and that people do use paper currency, and it's going to be a good device to have. Where do you see it partnering? Is it that you guys want to connect with the banks, or you guys want to have your own kind of kiosk locations all across the space? Where is it going from?
That's an amazing question, because we see that as a complement to the existing financial institutions in Hong Kong and other parts of the world. We do have our own delivery channel, for instance, the kiosk, but we're also working with partners that could have physical locations. I think one very interesting outlet would be, for instance, the cashier's tills. Because for them, the shops at the end of the day, they have to pay somebody to process the cash.
Right.
What if it could be a physical cash outlet?
Right.
So that's just one example. So we're really open to working with different financial institutions, even retail outlets. One good example was we were in Thailand last week. We were traveling a lot these recent few weeks.
Right.
It was E11, so they have a huge presence in retail and financial service, from Japan to Hong Kong to Thailand. So I think at that occasions, the synergy that the executives at E11 identified was, what if I can solve the payment problems of tourists at my retail locations? Because with the kiosk, we don't really have to worry, or the partners won't have to worry about whether you're local, whether you carry the right currencies, whether you have a combination of digital or physical. It's just one-stop shop comes in. If you have 3 different currencies in your pocket, spend it right away. You don't have to go back out, find an ATM, and do things like that.
Yeah, that's good.
So I see that as we are a complement to the existing different payment options.
So let's talk about cash system versus digital systems, right?
Right, of course.
So I know Asia is really big on digital currency, right? So you have like WeChat with their whole mechanism. How do you guys see what you're doing now fitting into that space as well, or where do you see the gaps?
Right. I think China is a very special case. Digital payment is prevalent across the countries. I think a lot of my friends, and sometimes I visit the mainland China as well, and I don't have to carry cash around.
Right.
The challenge comes in, we were looking at a PayPal study recently. They look at spending behavior in Asia specifically. Over 50% of transactions are still primarily done in cash on average. Some countries are higher. For instance, Thailand is about 70%. You'll be surprised, even China is still in the 20 to 30% range. So in reality today, cash is still very relevant. Even on a local setting, it gets even more relevant when it comes to travel. So I think sometimes people get confused. Digital payments within the border is easy. But when it goes cross-border, that's a challenge. And we're fully embracing the conversion to digital. I think it helps with just makes payments and financial inclusion much, much wider and easier. And we're doing this with Ready Travel to kind of accelerate and help people convert into digital, while at the same time we recognize the paying with cash, and we serve that pain point as well.
So then, so you guys here at Collision, you pitch, you have your prototypes that you guys are going to be building out, the software that you're making. What next? Where's the next step? Where's the future of what you want to do?
So we're very excited right now because we've been in testing for quite a few months now, and then we've been navigating the regulatory and business landscape in Hong Kong. And the regulators we talked to, for instance, HKMA, we get to talk to very senior people in HKMA, Hong Kong Monetary Authority. And they've been very supportive and forward-thinking in terms of supporting innovation. For instance, recently, 2 months ago, the first virtual banking license were announced in Hong Kong. So that kind of goes to show that fintech is booming right now in Hong Kong. We're glad to be riding on the wave. In the summertime, we're going to launch in public in Hong Kong, so consumers can finally use us. We also have an office in Singapore now, and we're setting up another presence in Thailand. So for 2019, we'll mainly focus on Asia.
The 3 main spaces I love: Hong Kong, Thailand, and Singapore.
Traveling around Southeast Asia, that's a very, very attractive proposition. And in 2020, which is next year, we're looking to expand into an international city away from Asia. So we're picking either the UK, which we also went to last week, and then potentially another possibility is in North America.
Okay.
Canada, New York.
Let me know when you come across.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
Because I see that millennials, especially traveling, the passion for travel,
Correct.
Goes across the world. Everybody likes that, and I think that's a great opportunity.
That's a great feature, and I hope to see you guys kind of like really push and expand.
Yeah,
it's exciting.
Thank you.
So one of the other questions I normally ask is, as a startup, we were talking earlier on about being an entrepreneur and a startup owner. It's crucial to really have a really good support system. So you guys coming out, going to Collision, you're with Invest Hong Kong, and you have a good ecosystem in that space. But it's not an easy space to be in to be an entrepreneur, especially building software and hardware at the same time, right? How imperative is it to have that type of network and that connectivity to make your business become successful?
Right. I actually learned by doing as well.
Yeah.
I think when my first exposure to startup was kind of the motivational video that I see on Facebook and on social media.
YouTube.
Yeah, it makes it looks really, really easy, and a couple of months of hard work, you get funded, etc. But when I actually get to meet of it, I realized it's a very, very challenging journey. Even to this day, I wouldn't call it any easier. In fact, we talked about it up until in the future, when the company gets bigger, we serve more customers, it will only get harder.
Correct.
So the support system around me was really, really important. My family, of course, I think that's big because when I run my own business, there's not really a closing hours. I basically work around the clock. My CTO is in London, so pretty much he opens at 4 p.m. my time. Okay. So my discussion really start with him at 4 p.m.
Right.
So as you can imagine the amount of stress putting on myself and my family.
And that sort of stuff.
Second is, of course, the business support around us. I work with a strong team, an expert team of advisors as well. Combined, they have 80 years of experience in transactional kiosks, cybersecurity, payments, and retail and travel. So I'm leveraging them to basically give me a lot of sanity check and feedback as I continue to develop. Without them, I won't be able to get to where I am.
So that network is crucial.
Of course, definitely.
Nice,
I would say they're vital to the business now and the future.
Well, that's good. That's amazing. Well, Victor,
thank you very
so much.
Fabian.
And I hope to see good things happen to your kiosk.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely going to be in Hong Kong using it at some point in time soon.
Hopefully other cities as well.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
All right,